Welcome to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. It's your opportunity to learn more about your garden and your yard, about dealing with pests, and about taking care of the birds. You can be part of the show with your questions at 395-1450. That's 395-1450. And now, from DeBruyn Seeds on Washington Avenue in Zeeland, here's the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
And good morning, everyone. It is a lovely day here right now. The sun just came out. I know that's probably not true of Zeeland. It's probably raining there right now, or who knows. Who knows? I went through rain and sunshine coming here, so it's just one of those days where you can get out when you can get outside. And, you know, it's like all of a sudden we turned the door from summer to fall-like weather. Remember, it's always kind of cloudy, rainy. So it's a good time to make sure you get all of your fall chores done. And I will remind you of some of those in a little bit here. But the phone lines are open. 616-395-1450. 616-395-1450 is the number to call. And I know there's no 14 and no 50 on the radio dial. It's 1450. My goodness, Jan, the rain must have gotten into your brain. Okay, I am still accepting pictures for the 2024 DeBruyn pet calendar. I know a couple of you are a little slow on getting them in. I've got so many cute ones, but I can still fit in your beautiful picture of your dog, cat, goldfish, whatever. You can email them to me at DeBruynseed@gmail.com. That is DeBruynseed@gmail.com. Or you can just bring me the originals. I'll quick scan them in and you can get them back, and I will get them in the calendar. It's too much fun this time of year. I love doing that. Calendars should be ready in November. I should have that all set up to go by then, I'm hoping. So we'll just we'll take it from there. And also Puerto Rico, Aid for Puerto Rico. I'm always accepting your pets' medications, not the ones that they're taking right now, but if you had something that you didn't give them all of it, I'll be glad to take whatever you've got left. And I will send it down to Island Dogs and Save a Gato down in Puerto Rico. They take a lot of the animals that are strays and spay, neuter, get them healthy, and find new homes for them. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful work that they're doing. And believe me, they've been hit by a couple of hurricanes. Not that they've gone directly over, but they've been close enough that they still get the heavy rain and wind, not maybe the hurricane force, but still pretty bad this summer. So they always appreciate anything that we can give them. The big thing at DeBruyn, I'll tell you, skunks are still huge. They're making their fall runs around looking for food, just like bears when they, stock up on food in the fall and they get a little crazy. The skunks are out, and I know you probably smell them as you're, riding around town or whatever. They are looking for grubs to eat because they're nice and fat and juicy right now, and they're really near the surface of the soil, but they can make a mess of your backyard. If there are no grubs there, they might look a little bit, but they aren't going to make the huge mess of when they look, they put their little nose in the ground and then they do a full circle, and they might claw the ground a little bit around it, and you might have the little holes from the skunks, but not like if they smell grubs or whatever, they dig them out and they make a mess. So we don't want that to happen. Let's quick get over to DeBruyn's. This is probably about the last week that you can put Dilox down to kill the grubs. With the fall weather, the temperature of the soil, although it's still pretty warm, it's gradually cooling down. So the grubs will move down. It's that time of year for them to move down further in the soil, and then I can't kill them with anything outside of a brick. So get that Dilox down now. Make sure you water it in well. That is the big thing. Water it in well. It photodegrades in the sun. It needs to get in the ground. It works 3 days later. It is down to its components, and it's not going to work anymore. So it does it pretty quickly, but that's about all you get. So you have to ask for DYLOX, Dilox. That's what the only thing that we've got to kill in-ground insects right now. That's the only thing in our arsenal, but it does work well. So let's just be thankful. Ken's actually still got it on sale, so that's even better. What else is going on this week? At DeBruyn's, the fall bird seed sale started Tuesday. Ken's really got the prices down. A 40-pound bag of black oil sunflower is $14.98. We have not seen that price for 4 years. It has been way over that. So, and I did make a little Google search of some of the other stores around here, and they're not passing on the savings of the slow sunflower market here and the lower prices. So, but DeBruyn's is. I saw 50 pounds of black oil sunflower seed on sale at one of the local big stores around here for $36. So $14.98 doesn't sound too bad right now. So get down to DeBruyn's, and other things are on sale too. I think I made new signs for just about everything. So our mixes, the plain things like sunflower chips, everything's on sale right now. So now is the time to stock up, and we only have another week left of the birdseed sale. So make sure you get in either today, we're open until 3, or get in next week. And next week, Saturday at closing time, birdseed sale is done. Can also put bird feeders on 20% off right now. So take advantage of that. A lot of times, I just don't think I've got one feeder that's iffy whether it's going to last the winter. I'm not quite sure. And you might as well get a new one right now. It's easier to hang a new one right now than to wait until the middle of winter when I got to go out in the backyard and trudge through some snow or whatever's back there. So a good time to get a new bird feeder, or it makes a great present also, folks. A bird feeder with a small bag of feed. What a great present to use for almost anybody. Even with they're in an apartment or whatever, if they got a balcony, they can hang something out there. There's all kinds of different feeders. You can do a suet feeder. You can do a peanut feeder. Those are so much fun. You can just do a small mixed seed feeder, a thistle feeder. It goes on and on and on. There's feeders for just about everything and every different size and shape, squirrel proof. It's just really pretty feeders. I do get a couple of really pretty feeders. They're usually more expensive, but like they have copper tops on them or something really cool. And we've got some really neat wooden feeders. Mr. Stokes makes those for us. He's from down south a little ways, and he makes them. He makes hundreds of them. He started making them in his backyard, in his little shed in his backyard. And now he hires, I don't know, half a dozen people to make all of his bird feeders. Or certain designs he had, and they're very well made. So if you want a wooden feeder, we've got some really nice ones at DeBruyn's right now. Ken's got some 20-pound bag of mixed daffodils on sale for $9.98. And I also saw he had 20 mixed tulip bulbs for $9.98 too. So there's no excuses that you can't afford, the bulbs, so let's get out. I like to plant my bulbs when I pull out my annual flowers, and then I can plant my bulbs right at the same time. If I don't do it then I procrastinate, and then it's the end of December and my bulbs are sitting in the garage in the bags, and they're not going to bloom there. So, then I got to move snow, and it's not fun. It's much more fun to plant your bulbs when it's a nice day outside. and I don't have to wear all, mittens and everything else to plant my bulbs. So when you pull out your annuals, put in your bulbs, we still got a beautiful, beautiful assortment of, the tulips, the daffodils, the crocus, grape hyacinths, fritillaria, allium. We've got paperwhites, and we actually even got some amaryllis in this week. So we've got a lot of bulbs there. So, and different colors, shapes, sizes, whatever you want, we've got them. And the fall mums, we're just closing out on the last of the really large ones, and they are big. They're 14 inches around, and they are probably 3.5 feet tall. They are huge. I put 2 in front of my garage. Everybody comes by. Where did you get those? Well, I work at DeBruyn, so that's where I got them. But they're solid colors. I've got one that's 3 different colors. It's beautiful. So, my annuals are starting to look kind of shabby right now. So putting that out just really pops right now. So I've got some mums out there. We've also got smaller mums. We've got flowering kale, flowering cabbage. We've got pansies. I planted a flat of pansies last week also. My pansies lasted through I finally dug them up when I wanted to plant my peas. They lasted through the winter, and they were beautiful. So I always like to do a couple of pansies. What else do we have out there? Oh, we've got Montauk daisies, and they are beautiful. They're a huge daisy. It's got to be 3.5 to 4 inches across. Absolutely beautiful. So that's what we've got in the term of flowers outside right now, but it sure makes the outside of DeBruyn's look really cheerful and happy with all the flowers out there. I love it when we have flowers out there. And we also have, drum roll, we have garlic in. We do have the hardneck garlic in right now. It's, I think it's a music garlic, it's called. And it is a hardneck, so you can plant it right now, and you harvest it next summer. But you can also use the garlic scrapes, or whatever they call it, of the hard garlic. You can't use that of the soft garlic. I think we're getting more soft garlic in. So if you want to plant that, it should be in a week. So by next weekend, we should have hard and soft garlic. But you never know. People are coming in, and you get a package with 3 heads of garlic in, and you take the heads apart and you plant each clove. So 3 heads of garlic of the hard garlic is probably going to give you 12 to 15 heads of garlic coming up. And then you get 3 of that, so that's 45. And people are buying like 5-10 bags of garlic. I don't know if they're selling it, whatever. But so get in soon if you want to plant garlic. We have to stop and take a break, and I'll get a glass of water, and you can listen to these messages.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
And we are back. Phone lines are open. 616-395-1450. 616-395-1450. This is the second time I have gotten that phone right without giving half of my cell phone number out. I am so proud of myself today. All right. People are coming in and buying wildflower seed right now, and that's lovely. I'm hoping they're buying wildflower seed to plant later on. But no, they're I don't know. They're not good farmers, I guess. Oh, we do have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show.
Yes, we have some asparagus plants that came up on their own in various places, and would like to put them all in one place. how and when is the best time to do that?
Okay, this fall you're going to just chop off the ferns on the top, and next spring early spring, you're going to dig up the roots and then replant them.
Okay. And I understand they need good, rich soil.
Yeah, and well-drained soil is what they really like. Yes.
Okay. So I might have to mark them if you cut the ferns
I was going to say, get a stick and put them in right where they are, so then you know where they are in the spring. Because otherwise, you're not going to have anything above the ground to even see.
Yeah. So I understand too that you can't harvest anything for the year or two.
The first year after you transplant, I would do like the first couple, and that would be it.
Okay.
And then next year, go ahead. Yep. All right. If you got a question, 616-395-1450. 616-395-1450 is the number to call. I started to talk about wildflower seeds, and people are saying, yes, we're going to frost seed them. They're going to throw them out on the ground now, and then they'll come up first thing in the spring. Problem is, we have a huge problem with this. The soil temperature right now is 68 degrees. Right now, and for now the next couple of weeks, the soil temperature is going to be warmer than the air temperature will be, and pretty soon we'll have a couple of nights that have freezing temperatures, and we get even colder. Okay, so you throw wildflower seeds down right now, and on the warm soil, they're not going to sit there and go, oh, it's fall. I don't think I want to come up now. They're going to say, hey, I've got water and I have got warm soil. I am going to germinate. And what happens is they start to grow, they start to come up out of the ground, and then a frost comes one night and it just kills them all. So then you have just basically thrown all your money out the window. So if you want to frost seed something, we need to do it correctly. We need to do it when the soil is so cold that there is no possibility of them germinating. That's the whole idea of this. And then you want to have it so it's freezing and then thawing and freezing and thawing, and that gets the heaving of the soil there, gets the seed into the ground where it needs to be. We do this in February or March. That's when we frost seed. We do not frost seed now. It will not work. Only because it takes so long for the soil to cool down. It's going to be a long time before the soil is colder than the air. It's kind of like Lake Michigan. It took a long time for the soil last spring to finally warm up, and it's going to take that same amount of time for it to cool down. So don't be so anxious that you think you want to frost seed it. And you can frost seed wildflower seeds. Most of them will come up. But again, it needs to be done when there is no chance of them germinating now. So let's just even take that off the docket of our fall chores, and let's put that on our very early spring chore to do. Now, we still have some time to get some grass seed down. Now, again, that's kind of the same situation. Ken will say we have until the 10th, which is next Monday or Tuesday. So, the grass seed comes up again. The soil, it's going to germinate. It's got water and it's got warmth in the soil. It's going to germinate and it's come up out of the ground. And again, little tiny grass shoots coming out of the ground. That frost hits them, they're going to die. You're going to, that's one thing. So if you want to put down grass seed, this is about the last weekend we're going to be doing that this year. Again, you can frost seed grass. It doesn't work extremely well. So, the end of next week, basically, I would cut off putting down grass seed unless you know that it's going to stay really warm for a long time. and the nights aren't going to get cold. So I don't know the fall forecast here. So I would, check that out extremely well before you start putting down any kind of seed right now, whether it be wildflower seeds or grass seed. Wildflower seeds, if you want to do it, at the end of the summer, you need them to have at least 8 to 10 weeks of growth. So if you put them in and you didn't get any rain for a while and it finally rained, and so they started growing in August or, September, it didn't get long enough for the perennials to be perennials to get established in the ground, and the annuals did not set out seed. So again, you need to do that, at least have it growing at least 2 months before the cool weather of fall starts. So again, too late to frost or too early to frost seed right now. Hope I made that clear. It's the temperature of the soil. And right now we're getting plenty of rain. So I had one guy come in and he put his wildflower seeds in earlier, but then we had that long period of no rain and he didn't have any way to water his wildflower seeds. So now they're just now starting to come up out of the ground. He's probably going to lose all that and have to start all over again in the spring. Wildflower seeds are not inexpensive. So I don't want you to waste all your money on stuff and be very disappointed in the return that you get. So do eat first thing in the spring. Early spring is when you put those things down. Right now, what we're planting in our garden is garlic. That's our big thing that we can plant in the garden right now. So in the garden right now, it's a good time to start pulling out the things that are not bearing anymore. You might think about pulling out the green beans and anything else. I know that this is not the time of year that peppers and tomatoes are going to get their best growth. You can wait until we get, really cold weather at night to pull them out, or you can pull them out now. And my jalapeno plants always bear a lot of fruit, but they kind of get hidden in all that foliage. And one of the guys at work, he pulled out all of his jalapeno plants. And believe me, this guy has like 80 of them. He pulls them out of the ground and then he holds them upside down. And then the jalapenos, they kind of hang down looking like little Christmas tree ornaments. And you can very easily pick all of them off there. You don't have to sit there and go through all the foliage to try find them. What a killer idea. Why I didn't think of that, I don't know. But I pulled out my pepper plants, held them upside down. I could just pull those little peppers off there like nobody's business. And I bet on a small tomato plant, you could do the same thing. So hold those little pepper plants upside down. You can see all the peppers. So if you're clearing out your garden, that's one way to get it off. Make sure if you're going to take out your tomatoes, pull all the tomatoes off the vine. They will ripen inside. I would just kind of put each tomato in like a brown paper bag and put them in the dark for a little bit. They should let off enough, ethylene gas to get them red. So, and then you could do whatever you want with them. But you can pick them green and have them ripen in the house. That's one of the few things that will actually ripen off the vine is a tomato. Peppers will not grow after you've pulled them off the vine. So yes, time to get those all harvested. The squash plants, pumpkin plants, when do you harvest those? You harvest them, if the plant dies, then it's a good time to pull them off. Make sure you leave a good stem on them. Otherwise, it will rot. So make sure you leave a good 2-inch stem on your pumpkins and your squashes, and then let them harden, let the shell harden for a week or so out of the rain. So maybe in the garage or somewhere. And then you can store them, use them, whatever you want to do, cook them, whatever. That's good. Pumpkins, I would leave out until right around Halloween. sometimes they just don't hold that well. So, it's just kind of better to leave them on the vine as long as the plant is still alive and sending out nutrients. Once the plant is dead, you might as well pull them off. I know if you start, if you carve your pumpkin too early, you can spray it with wet it and forget it, and that will help keep that pumpkin stay nice. We need to stop and listen to the news, and then we will be back with the garden show after that.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
And we are back. Oh, the sun has gone away, but I don't even know if it's raining out there right now. The wind is blowing. It's a typical fall day here. So, hey, we're Michiganders. We can do this. We can handle being outside. It doesn't bother us. I saw a lot of people out at soccer games as I came in, so I know you all are outside and can do it. There are things that we do need to do right now. It was, say, 10-4 to weeds on 10-4 this week, so it is time to put down a weed killer on your lawn. It doesn't really... You don't get the impact of seeing dead weeds right now, but what it does is it will prevent those annual weeds from coming up in the spring. So you put it down now, it will kill those little things that you don't even see that are there, and you don't see them next spring. So they won't be that irritating, cress and the henbit and the dandelions and all those things that come up in the early spring. You should have taken care of those in the fall. It's a wonderful thing. I do it every year. I don't get a lot of weeds creeping up in my lawn. Well, maybe late summer I might get some, but it's been a good year at my house. So I'm always happy about that. And another chore that you need to do is fertilize your lawn. Even if you haven't done anything to your lawn all year, fall is the most important time to fertilize your lawn. It's the time that you can get that fertilizer down, and it will help get it through the winter and green up in the spring. And we've got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show.
Morning, Jan. I was wondering when would be the best time to spray the hornets. I got a nest under my roof of my porch.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Well, the best time to spray is when they're all in there and they're not moving around quite as much. So in the evening,
temperature that you can spray that they don't attack you.
Yeah, I wish it were. The colder it gets outside, the better. So if it's at night and it's going down to 40 or maybe low 50s into the 40s, that might be a great time to spray.
How about at night? Will they attack at night too, or?
There might be some that come out, but not as many as if you did it during daylight, warm weather.
One is enough.
Yeah, those hornets are nasty. So make sure you've got a way out. And I would get at least 2 cans.
I can't move too fast anymore neither. So
I'm not that fast anymore. I had to have a neighbor do it. But yes, make sure you can get out of there quickly. And they just dumped 2 cans of it in there, and that really took care of it for me.
Yeah, well, I'll have to be on the ladder too.
Oh no!
To to get off that neither,
Yeah, one of the neighbor boys that's a little more agile that can just jump off that and run might be the best idea.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, good luck. Yeah, those yellow jackets are still out there. They're just nasty. I hate those things.
Yeah, I was going to suggest get one of the neighbor kids to come out and do it. Give them $10 and,
Yeah, really. They probably would find that very interesting. It's always really cool the next morning to look at all of the stuff on the ground. It's amazing how much stuff's in those nests.
Just put a trampoline at the bottom of the ladder so they can jump off and go.
I'm just envisioning them on the trampoline spraying at it to go up. Yes. No, probably not a good idea. But yes, one of the younger, more spry neighbor kids might be a good idea. Make sure they aren't allergic to bees or hornets. But yes. Okay, thank you for that idea. That's just going to stick with me now. And talking about fall weather, hopefully you are getting your house plants in off the deck or the patio. Really need to get those in. Some of the tropical plants cannot even stand 50 degrees, and I know we've got some nights that are going to go that low in the near forecast. So let's get those plants off the deck and into the house. Make sure that you either spray them with insecticidal soap or something to make sure that you're not going to bring in any kind of insects along with them. And make sure you check the pot itself. Sometimes toads can come into the living room with you or into your house with you. I had 3 toads in the living room that I accidentally brought in with a plant. And believe me, it is not easy to round up 3 toads in your living room. And we have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're on the Garden Show. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Oh, there we go. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Jen.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Jen, I have a question for you. What's the best for mice for the wintertime? What kind of bait or what can I use to kind of control them
Okay.
during the winter weather?
Yeah. Get those traps out. Use as bait.
Okay.
The mice really like bacon. They also like chocolate. I just use basically a little bit of peanut butter and some bird seed. That seems to work well on my mouse traps. And I also spray with rodent stopper around there. I just don't want them to come in. So I do spray around the baseboards in my garage. I put out the traps. Yeah.
So there's a spray that you can use for that? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a spray that you can spray around there that they don't like. And remember that when they run, they stay near the walls. They don't go out in the middle of the room. So if you can spray the rodent stopper along the baseboard, then it gets on their fur. They don't like that, and they will not. They'll turn around and go away.
Okay, where can I buy this? Where can I get it at DeBruyn?
We have it at DeBruyn's. You bet.
Okay. You're open till what time today?
We're open until 3 today.
3 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay, I better. Now, do you spray that once a week or?
No.
How do you do that?
Outside, spray it once a month. Inside, you can spray it every 2 months.
Every 2 months. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
You. Yeah. Bye.
Yep. Bye. Yeah, those little guys, they're looking for a place to come in. So if you've had the problem with the mice in the past, it is time to spray the rodent stopper around, caulk up any holes, or put some steel wool in any places that you can't caulk up, doors, windows around that, anything around the dryer vent, wherever they can get in. Remember, they can crawl up siding too. So let's get all of that mouse proofed. And I also like to spray the rodent stopper around there. And I also put out traps. I put out like 3 traps in a row right against the baseboard in my garage. So if they're going to run through, one of the 3 is going to catch them. So I've got good odds there. So, and I was talking to one of the salesmen this week, and he was, I don't like it, when it first clamps down, it doesn't instantly kill sometimes. So you get them flopping around for like 5-10 seconds. So if I hear a snap, I don't go out there for a little bit. I can deal with the mice when they're dead, but I don't want to deal with them when they're still flopping around. We've got the little snap traps. We also have the little, the sticky traps. I hate those things. They get stuck on them, and what happens is they struggle so much, and then they finally kind of give up, and their little head goes down on the sticky trap, and then they suffocate. I really don't want to make them suffer. I've tried to pull off their legs, and I've broken some legs on mice. that's not fun either. So I did learn this week that if you do have a mouse on a sticky trap or whatever, and it's still alive, you can bring it outside. Vegetable oil, if you put some vegetable oil on the trap itself, it will release that stickiness, and then they can run off and hopefully, maybe do this in the neighbor's yard, and it will run into the neighbor's house. Or walk, I don't know, after all that struggling on a sticky trap. I'm not fond of those things, but we have a lot of people that do like them and use them. The guy asked about bait for your traps. I use the peanut butter with the birdseed rats. At pieces of apple are great a bait for a rat, but we also have little jars of mice and rat bait also that you can just take out and put some on the trap. It's got an aroma to it that they can smell. I really don't smell much, but they can smell it. So that works well if you don't want to use up all your peanut butter on mice. So that's a good idea too. We need to stop and take a break, and we will be right back after these messages.
Let's get back to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show. Call the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland now at 395-1450. Once again, here's Jan Meeuwsen.
All right. Got a couple of chores yet. We've still got to get those house plants in. Make sure you're not bringing in any hitchhikers on it. You can put it in the shower. A lot of times I'll do that and just rinse them off really well. You can put them in a sink full of water. Let the pot with the dirt and just soak in that for a couple minutes, and then pull it out. That should take care of anything that's in the soil. So get all those little nasty things out. Don't put them right with the houseplants that stayed in the house all summer, just in case. We don't want, spider mites or powdery mildew to transfer from one to another. So we've got that. Bringing them inside, I'd ask for you to bring them into a darker spot, like in the shade on your deck, then bring them in, because being inside the house is not as sunny as them being outside. They're not used to that. So make sure you clean your windows, and this does make a difference. Clean your windows where you're going to put the house plants, especially the ones that you need to have that sunlight. Clean the windows. You'll be surprised how much. And make sure that you pick the spot to put them that's away from like the hot air vent, because pretty soon we're going to turn on the furnaces. And make sure it's out of the way of a door draft. They don't like that either. They're kind of fussy little guys. So you just make sure they've got them inside in the right location. Wash your windows, and they should be fine. I have got conflicting things about whether you should fertilize your plants in the winter or not fertilize your plants in the winter. I'm going with the Martha Stewart school. She says you can fertilize them with a very dilute, weak, water-soluble fertilizer. Do it once a month, and your plants, it's probably not as hot and heavy as you do during the summer when they're actually growing and blooming, but just to keep them going, once a month will be fine with a dilute, like a Miracle Grow that's been diluted in water. That should be fine. So get that down. Your amaryllis, if you saved one of those bulbs over the summer and you've got lots of leaves on them that look nice and green, I want you to take them, and I want you to go downstairs or put them anywhere they can be in a cool, dark room that's above freezing, and just leave them there. They'll be fine. They don't need you. Just leave them there. Don't water them. Don't do anything. In fact, even if you can put them on their side so you remember not to water them, would be perfect. I put them down in my furnace room. I don't go in there that often, so I do forget about them. It's a perfect spot. Now we want to keep them in there for a month or two So end of November, we're going to pull them out. We're going to put them right side up again. We're going to cut off all those dead leaves, and then we're going to start watering it again, and we're going to put it in a warmer location, not in the full sun, but in a sunny room, and watch it grow. It does like to have a little heat on the bottom of it to really get it sometimes going a little quicker. You can use a heating pad for that, turn it on every once in a while, or a heat mat that you used in the spring on your other plants, or you can put them. Some people still have the old radiators in their house that they can put something on, or at the top of the refrigerator if you have some room there that it's warmer there. That will work too, to get those amaryllis going. But they do need that little bit of a dormant time right now. It's kind of like tulips. These are, another bulb that just likes a little dormant time. Amaryllis bulbs are toxic to dogs and cats. So if you've got one of those dogs or a cat that likes to chew on things, make sure it's out of their reach, or out of their sight, so they don't chew on it. I don't think they're going to die, but it's going to be pretty bad intestinal cramping there if you're going to be eating those things. So you don't eat them, and your dog or cat doesn't eat them. Let's just put it that way. Not a good meal. Speaking of a good meal, let's get the bird feed out, fill those feeders up, clean the feeders out. Remember to clean them out about once a month. That works best. Get them filled with all of the wonderful bird seed that's on sale at DeBruyn's right now. So let's get them out, and let's get those feeders full so they like them. Now, I will be back Tuesday morning, and it will be a normal one. They won't be coming to DeBruyn's. I will have to keep coming here. So I'll be on Tuesday morning at 8:35 with Dan with a garden party. And then I will be on from 10 until 11 on Talk of the Town with the garden hour. Yes, garden hour with Gary. And then the most important thing is I will be back here Saturday morning at 11:05 or whatever, depending on how many ads need to run first. But I will be back here next Saturday. And I will tell you of all the other garden chores that you might be missing out on. So, you never know. There's lots of gardening chores. There's so many things to do in the spring, and then there's so many things to do in the fall. But once you get those fall things done, you're done. You're set for so if you can take a Saturday or two and get those chores done, we'll be fine. And I know there's a caller on the line right now. I was going to say, you can give me a call at DeBruyn's 616-772-2316. So again, when I'm not here, I'm at DeBruyn's 616-772-2316. But until next Saturday, go green.
You've been listening to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com. If you wish to hear this or other programs hosted by the Master Gardener from DeBruyn Seeds in Zeeland, check out the podcast section of our website, WHTC.com, and listen or download for free. The Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show is a presentation of 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.